Hey everyone, welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. I have a really strong daily driver watch, a sports piece from Omega that I'm going to be sharing here in this video. This is on loan from Brent L Miller Jewelers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, an authorized dealer for Omega watches, among other brands. And I have the newest version of this particular Aqua Terra. This is the subsidiary seconds, or the small seconds variation under the Seamaster family. Now, this is one that I just wasn't expecting the Swatch Group to release. I thought for sure if they were going to do another Aqua Terra, they would expand upon the colors, maybe that they would do a new clasp, a new bracelet system, which I think would be a very welcome addition. But no, they came out with a small seconds, which really surprised me. And I didn't know what to think at first because it's not what you would call the most beautiful and proportional subsidiary seconds on the market, but it is very strong and it is very well done. And so the more time that I've spent thinking about it, and obviously having this particular example in hand and filming it, the more I've become a fan. I think this is a really sharp model. And I like it. I like it quite a bit. Now, I don't think it's perfect. We will talk about the areas for improvements or the downfalls of this particular model. But I think on the whole, most of you will agree with me. This is one of the best daily drivers or best sports pieces you can buy from Switzerland for about $6,000 or under $6,000, depending on the discount that you can negotiate. Now, we have some retro design elements here when it comes to a couple little things like the lyre style lugs, the broad arrow minute hand here on the dial. I really like that, but it's also a very contemporary feeling overall design that I think is beautiful. I think it's versatile, and I love the finish work. I love the detail work on the dial that you can see on a macro level. Notice the clean, even graining found on the indexes, found on the handset, the crispness of the edging and the profile work. Even notice the subtle matte reflections in the tan index ring. That is really sharp. This grabs light, this plays with light. And you look at the detail work and you pair that with a very solid master chronometer movement, very versatile design language, original design language, a 5-year warranty, good low light luminescence. Again, very strong, very easy to see why this would be a great daily driver as far as watches go from Switzerland. Now let's talk about the movement. We have the master chronometer caliber 8916. It's a coaxial movement developed by Omega, and this is certified by the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology as well as the COSC. We have 60 hours of power reserve that are held in twin barrels or double barrels. They are actually labeled here in the movement that you can see through an exhibition case back. And I love the fact that you can see this movement through an open back. It really helps you see where your money is going, so to speak. Yes, this is machined finish. The finish is an arabesque pattern, but it's very beautiful. It's very pleasing to look at aesthetically. We have a free-sprung balance. We have a silicon escapement. We have variable inertia regulation system for regulating the balance. And what is my favorite feature, the jumping hour complication. I think that's the most practical or my favorite of the common complications. So instead of a quick set date in the first position in the crown, the screw down crown at the 3 o'clock position, you can independently adjust the hour hand forward or backward by 1 hour intervals without hacking the balance. And I find that so handy, especially if you travel or you live in an area in the world that observes daylight savings time, or perhaps it's the end of an irregular length month and you need to make a date adjustment. It takes just a few seconds to do that. I find it very handy, very helpful. And again, I like seeing it through the back. This is not disproportionate in the amount of real estate it takes up on the back of the watch. It's not too big. It's not too small. I like it. Again, this is a really strong watch that I think is beautiful. I think is strong. Again, that detail work on the dial, the level of light play and reflection and depth when it comes to the subsidiary seconds, the shape of the aperture for the date at the 6 o'clock position, even the crispness of the printing when it comes to the text and the logo. It's all done very well. It's all very strong. Now let's talk about some of the downfalls, some of the pitfalls of this particular version. I think some will dislike the fact that we have anti-reflective treatment found on the top of the crystal as well as the underside of the crystal. I know some of you just like it on the underside. You don't like the top layer because you can wear down the top layer with use. And sometimes you see some wear marks. Those become visible, and it almost looks like there's a scratch or a fiber on the dial, but it's not. It's just a mark in the anti-reflective treatment on the top of the dome sapphire crystal. You're going to have to live with that because the trade-off is excellent legibility, excellent clarity, especially from oblique angles and in direct light or direct sunlight. So there will be some give and play with that. But here's the thing that keeps me from just running out and buying an Aqua Terra to wear in rotation. I am a bracelet guy. I know some of you really enjoy a good bracelet like I do. And the bracelet option for the Aqua Terra carries polished center links, which I don't think are the worst thing at the end of the day. But the fact that we have a fairly basic, or in my opinion, substandard butterfly clasp, that's disappointing, especially because some of the other models like the Planet Ocean and like the Seamaster come with such good clasps with instant adjustability when it comes to, not needing a tool and being able to make travel adjustments on the fly. The bracelet and the clasp on the Aqua Terra just feel dated. They don't feel very good. In fact, I don't know one watch enthusiast that likes the bracelet and likes the butterfly clasp. And so I think if Omega were to just pay a little bit of attention to the Aqua Terra bracelet in the next generation, they would sell even more of these than they currently do, especially because, bracelet lovers like myself, we're wanting a better bracelet. We are wanting a better clasp with more adjustability. You look at this and you imagine a great bracelet, perhaps all satin or all brushed like they used to do years ago with the Aqua Terra, and a really good clasp, good taper on the bracelet, screw links, adjustability. Man, this thing would be strong in every avenue. So hopefully they address that in future generations. Now, there's one other thing that I think is worth mentioning in the future. So if anyone from the Swatch Group is watching this video, I'd like to see just a couple things in the Aqua Terra line outside of the bracelet and the clasp. And that would be to expand working with some exotic materials like Omega has done with different models. They did it with the Globemaster, doing a tungsten fluted bezel, which is brilliant, really. Tungsten is very hard to scratch, very hard to mark. And to put that in a fluted bezel in the Globemaster, that was genius. And I like the fact that Omega has worked with full ceramic in the Speedmaster, in the Planet Ocean, in the Seamaster. They haven't done it yet, to my knowledge, in the Aqua Terra, and I would love to see a beautiful ceramic Aqua Terra. I think that would be great. So hopefully they look into doing some of these exotic materials in this specific platform, because it's a great size, it's a great design, and there's a lot to love. There's a lot to enjoy about this overall model. So let me know what you think of the Seamaster Aqua Terra small seconds. Let me know what you think of my analysis. Was I too harsh? Was I spot on? What do you think of this particular watch, and how strong is it as a daily driver at $6,000 or less? Thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Please reach out with questions. If you're shopping for an Aqua Terra, I'll put my sales, guys, contact info in the description of the video. All of that will be found there. Thank you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.